Ms. Ching Kwong, you talked about the failures of the international community. And can you talk about what needs to happen at the international community, what Canada can do to help move things in terms of the failure there? And you want to elaborate?
There are promises that are made to Hong Kong, and at least in the Sino-British Joint Declaration, which is a treaty that's lodged at the United Nations and should be safeguarded by the Vienna Conventions, the law of the treaty. But the UK hasn't even raised an objection to it. None of the countries that are involved in that international law mechanism has actually done anything about the breach of the treaty. And there's a lot of things that could be done, as Catherine and Kaylin and Luke has said. But one thing that hasn't been mentioned is I urge Canada to seek to find a solution with other allies, with the UK, with America and other governments, to Beijing's unilateral rejection of dual nationality and racist imposition of Chinese citizenship of anyone they believe to be Chinese, even of those who have already renounced their Chinese citizenship, or those children of those who were born outside of China. They have been claiming that people are not subjected to consular access because they are first and foremost Chinese before they're Canadians or they're British citizens. And this has been causing quite some problem in Hong Kong. I'm sure the Canadian government have encountered similar issues, not only in the context of Hong Kong, but also in the context of prisoners in China, that they were denied consular access. And we can't just roll over and allow Beijing to deny consular access and rights. And at the same time, I completely agree with everything that have been mentioned on the panel, that there's so much things to be done, sanctions and so on. And talking about political prisoners and talking about the situation in Hong Kong and China at all times, whenever there's bilateral engagement or multilateral engagement, that should be a topic on the table. The Chinese government and the Hong Kong SAR government have known to be quitting negotiations or conversations because these things are on the table. But that's exactly why it should be insisted on having those conversations, because you can't just refuse to talk about different things just because you don't like it or you've done something wrong.